I have this situation, I'm just a former employee.
And what?
So that there will be no problems, I don't know.
So what? Former employee of what?
FPS.
And what? People in the RF don't watch your interviews.
Everyone is watching.
Huh?
Watching?
Seriously?
Yes, everyone is watching your interview. Well, the many.
Who?
Well, including mobilized one.
Do they watch while there?
Well, yes.
Well, I know that. That's what we are recording for. Well, what are the problems?
Well, basically, then let's talk.
What problems might anyone have, and why do you? Who are you, ex-officer, right?
Yes.
So what next? The colonels were sitting here. The chief of staff was sitting. The pilots were sitting.
Understood.
According to my reaction.
Can I have a cigarette?
Yes. It was clear from my reaction that I simply didn't care. The FPS will be of interest to everyone because you have tortured there. I'm probably not just interested. Former employee. General.
No, Captain.
Here you go. Whose phone number would you dictate?
Mom's.
Let's,
No.
Why the mom and not the
Well,
wife?
her heart is weak.
Whom, the wife?
My wife's. All her hair is grey
So
already.
what, she's grey-haired?
Yes. I'll talk to Mom.
As you wish. What's your last name? Is there any WhatsApp there?
What's up?
FPS. In what kind of colony were
I
you there?
worked at Butyrka in Moscow.
Butyrka. Oh, damn well. You'll probably tell a lot of things.
Yeah, nothing special. I
Come
also
on.
work in the
They're
North...
recruiting for Butyrka. Repeat your last name. This is it.
Yes.
Record voice message saying that we will call within half an hour to an hour so that she's ready. What city are you from? What time is it there now?
+4. It's the same time here, the same as in Moscow.
Here? Yes.
+4 hours. Mom, hello, I'm in captivity.
No, wait. Don't say that. You'll tell her later when you get the call. You just need to tell her now to be in touch on the internet in half an hour, in an hour.
Mom, hello. Your son is calling. Your son is bothering you. Be in touch within half an hour or an hour. I'll call you via video.
And what's in Butyrka? And so, do you watch our interview?
Yes?
And it didn't prove to you that it's better not to go to war?
No, I wasn't convinced.
You're an officer.
Not convinced.
You have a high education. Do you have a high education?
I have it.
Lawyer?
Uh-huh.
Specialization?
Criminal law.
Well, you know that no one was imprisoned.
I found out later.
But look on the internet, look in the database of sentences that no one was imprisoned.
And they were already mobilized at the moment when...
And what interview did you remember?
I watched a lot.
A lot? How many?
About 30 maybe.
Whoa, you're setting a record.
Just their short videos and all sorts of others.
And what, true or false?
What?
The interview.
I think for the most part it's
What's
true.
not true? How many times have you been tortured today?
They didn't torture me.
At all? It's a flow, right? Then tell me, can I contact you informally?
Yes, sure.
Uh-huh. Is it your common behavior to torture and mock people? Where is it from? I want to figure it out for myself. Where did you get this from at the FPS?
I served in such places. I was probably
Where
lucky.
that hasn't happened.
There wasn't at all.
No, that's nonsense. I don't believe this. Do you know how many prisoners I talked to? If we have more than 700 interviews already posted on the channel. Not one said that there was no torture. Not one said that there were no punishments. Well, by the way, what are prisons for the police officers? What are
Or the
ordinary
criminals?
prisons? It's the same everywhere. Somewhere it's simple, somewhere... I'm wondering where you got this from and why they don't do anything about it. Well, you're an officer. How can you encourage this? You know what's going on there. You're just beating people up. And you take them outside in the cold. You know it. You know. Though things
This
don't need to be
happens,
hurt,
yes.
you had that under your direct control. That's it. Whoever you before prison.
In Moscow, I worked as an inspector in security. In Moscow, I was the regime inspector.
What is the regime inspector?
Inside, I watched for the walkouts in the bathhouse and in the gym.
And you never knew or saw this.
I've never seen it in Moscow.
Didn't you see it in Butyrka? What if I now will find a prisoner who is in captivity now and he will sit next to me and tell it?
Well, at least I retired 3 years ago. I didn't see any violence there.
So you haven't seen any violence? Which colonies were you in?
Correctional colony 14, 15 FPS of Khanty-Mansiyski Autonomous Region. And in 2013, I think I was transferred to Moscow.
But the captives here don't know that you were in FPS.
No, I didn't tell them anything.
Now we'll do a cool experiment. I want to call another captive who is a prisoner. I'm interested. You probably saw this format with us when Chechen was at the interview who fought in the First Chechen War. And the GID officer who killed Chechens.
I haven't seen anything like this.
I can now try to guess your story of how you were captured. Which direction were you in?
Klishevka.
Klishevka. So you were sitting in a dugout or sitting in a trench. There was mortar shelling, then it stopped. Our people came, threw grenades at you, and then took you away.
That's right.
How many people did you have?
6 if you count me.
Well, I don't know why it's so few there, or were there already dead ones?
No.
It didn't
No.
happen. You see, why did I guess? Because your stories are the same. And this story is not particularly interesting to people, because everyone knows it. But we are interested. Personally, as a blogger and journalist, I am interested in understanding why you're such a terrible organization at the FPS.
Yes.
You are torturing prisoners, and you, the officers, allow that. You're sitting in captivity with a guy whose fingers were frozen and all his legs were amputated in the colony.
I heard that. I heard.
So what did you heard it? The entire colony was taken out and formed, and this guy had 5 conclusions. He said that the methods were the same everywhere. That's why I don't believe it. Well, according to prisoners' standards, as far as I know, they can't retaliate against you. Prisoners cannot retaliate against you unless you specifically tortured them. Well, you know all this already. Come in, sit down.
There?
Over there. We have a conception change here.
What are you telling me, Dmitry? That's so interesting. This made my curiosity.
Interesting.
Yes, well, interesting.
Are you going to call home? Suddenly?
Well, generally, yes. Very much so.
And I said it would be interesting.
Yes.
Don't worry, they won't treat you badly in captivity. And you, when you return after the conversation, don't tell anyone anything.
I don't care. Why should I frame a person?
Well, so there won't be any clashes.
Can I have a cigarette?
Yes, sure. So that they don't rally it or whatever.
No. What's in here? Prison rules don't apply here.
That's right.
Moreover, we took up the guns and, as they say... Well, it turns out...
Watch out, you'll burn
No
me.
way.
The interesting thing about the conversation is that there is an employee of the FPS, a captain officer, who was mobilized, went to war and was captured. There is a prisoner who, from which colony?
No, at the moment I came from Correctional Colony 1 in the city of Two Men strict model.
Colony 1.
Yes. Nothing special.
Are you somehow worried or feeling uncomfortable?
Certainly.
What is the discomfort? Did you ever think you'd find yourself in this position?
No, never.
Never? When you looked at it, did you ever think about it?
Maybe.
Am I right?
I was a pity for those guys.
Do you have pity feelings for them?
Certainly.
Why? What caused it?
All people should have compassion.
No. Do you have compassion for him?
Of course there is.
What does it mean?
The fact that the person ended up in a war for military operations.
Whose fault was it that he ended up in the war? In his particular case, there is an interesting story. Can you guess with 99% probability by whose fault he ended up in the war? By whose? Him specifically?
Well, by his own way, I guess. Of course, by my own way.
Nobody forced him. And you, by whose fault you were caught?
There was mobilization.
This is not the answer. Whom exactly do you need to blame? There is a personality. Maybe a collective image, state. Do you have the same feeling for him?
I have no.
Why?
What?
Why? He has a feeling of compassion for you.
I don't know.
That's why it will be interesting. This is also the trick of this format, when two prisoners are from different camps. He is the one who beat and tortured you.
Guarded. Well, yes, the one who guards. Guards and protects.
Guards and protects, absolutely right.
I'm on the other side. I have no compassion for them. Not at all. Even thought we ended up in a war. It's just that knowing these people, I have no compassion for them.
Do you understand, Alexandra?
I don't know. I don't know if I can put it this way.
Anything is possible, you can swear. I'm serious, nothing will happen for this. We have a YouTube channel,
They
you can.
say a policeman is a policeman everywhere. You have no humanity. Something like that, as I can say.
We'll get there. I don't know how all this will all end. Maybe the two of them will kill me.
Not really, of course not.
What saves me is that the comrade lieutenant had no gun. By the way, where did you get injured?
Well, at the same time when we were going for the assault.
Did you step on the mine or something?
Well, I was blown up on something, probably on some kind of mine.
Well, I know he got medical attention.
Yes.
The plaster there,
Yes, the plaster.
Their plaster.
It's broken, yes.
Well, I just saw... They're the lighter. Why do you need the matches?
There are a few among them such police officers, so to say, right? Is it right to call it that now? There are only a few of them who can understand the prisoner, but most don't. There is some kind of the lie on their part, so I don't have confidence in them.
Why does he say that?
Well, I think he should know by himself why that's so, right? I probably got through it by myself. Well, of course.
The question is very interesting. Do you know why is it called ZK? Who knows? In order. Let's start with you. You by yourself are the owner of this title.
It's in short of something.
Well,
maybe a person from prison, as I understand it.
your version?
Also, the Trans-Baikal Komsomol,
Oh.
probably so. Yes, exactly, I remember it.
Now everyone will go nuts. No one knows this. More precisely, everyone thinks that the K means a prisoner.
Yes, this term is old.
Yes, do you know this topic?
Well, not enough. Don't think that during construction, apparently in Soviet times, the following terms was used.
Yes, but what does it mean? Забайкальский комсомолец?
Well, so as not to advertise that prisoners are working.
That's right. Briefly, when there were not enough people, when these big global construction projects were started, and construction armies, labor armies, the so-called Komsomol members worked there, all sorts of things, and when they realized that they were not meeting the deadlines, they started to employ prisoners. And so that no one would know that there were prisoners, they came up with this Trans-Baikal Komsomolets. This is a true explanation of what ZK means. Who knew or did not know this right? Is this information interesting or not interesting? The main question. What do you mean there is nothing human?
Well, how it happens when you address well to the FPS employees, right? When you need to ask something to transmit, for example, or something else to provide you some assistance. Let's say when you come to prison for the first time, you find yourself in another city, another region, you don't know anyone there, there's no one to ask for. Well, let's say you can ask for something, for example, cigarettes. Surely they can provide it for you, but of course, if you have money. That is, if you need to buy or transmit something, you have to give a bribe. Well, that is the hint that if you give money, they will help you, but they wouldn't help you by simply humanly. They don't even let you tell your family about your whereabouts simply so, because it is not allowed for you to make calls in other regions while you're traveling to the colony. While you write an application and the application is reviewed by the prison master, you're waiting for him to give permission or not. As a rule, when you appear online, it turns out that your phone number is not registered. That is, well, it happens that when you address employees, they will, in such an animal way, can insult you, roughly speaking, like that. Well,
What kind of punishments did you experience from the FPS?
well, in what sense a punishment? Well, they caused a bit of trouble.
What do you mean cause trouble?
Well, it's like in the song, they beat 1, 2, 3 on the liver, 1, 2, 3 on the kidneys. Well, that's how they beat me. Not everyone. I'm not saying that everyone beats me. Not everyone beats you, but it happened from them.
In how many colonies have you been to during all this time?
I went through prisons for this term in 2019.
I'll ask differently, a little more precisely. How long have you already served in prison?
The first time I served 4 years in prison.
Uh-huh. What was the article?
111.
Uh-huh.
Now I served almost 4 years and went to war.
Understood.
Had to serve 7
8
years in
total
prison.
as an ordinary prisoner.
Well, yes, I did my time.
Have there been any correctional colonies in your practice where they didn't kick you in the liver? Where the administration didn't use, well, how can I put it, forceful methods? Was there at least one establishment where there was manhandling?
Yes. There was one prison that last term I served.
Which one?
correctional colony. Yekaterinburg Central.
Yeah. What was there?
Well, we also passed through there in transit. There is no such thing. There was a normal attitude towards us there.
Well, to you or to all the prisoners?
To everyone.
Like a normal prison?
Well, yes. They didn't pay much attention there because they got the new prisoners too often. That is, they come, they leave, they come,
Transit
they
one.
leave. Transit prison, transfer to all regions of Russia.
Simply, Alexander, at the beginning of our conversation, asserted that he is the one who does not know about torture, about punishment in prisons.
Well, everything is possible. I don't deny it. You never know. Not everyone knows it. Well, it happens, as I said, but there are few employees who do not touch you.
You're an officer. You yourself did not work with prisoners. You had subordinates.
No, I worked
Did you
with
work?
them.
Read in the comments who recognized Alexander. With us it's possible. People recognize and write. And then maybe there will be a second episode when they write that they know you. What was your call sign or nickname?
Fizruk.
Fizruk? I can guess why. Give me your version.
Well, I don't know. He probably forced someone to do push-ups or squats, something like that. Well, that's kind of my opinion.
That's
No,
why?
or something related to
was
this.
the
Gym manager.
Ah.
For prisoners. They're in Butyrka, yeah? Uh-huh. The paid gym.
How much does it cost to work out?
Well, 600 rubles.
It is like officially paid to
Yes,
the
yes,
catcher.
it was debited from your financial account. From a financial account. Well, this is for those who served there for a long time.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah, there is such a thing. In principle, every prison should have a gym.
In short, I don't believe that Comrade Fizruk didn't know that in correctional colonies 14 and 15 in Butyrka, that manhandle and other such things are used there. Do you believe this?
I don't even know now. Don't know.
1 year to 2019 in Butyrka. From 14 to 2019.
I passed there in 2019. Through 2020.
Through 2020.
I passed there in 2019
Oh.
by transition.
Whether by transition?
Yes.
You could have met.
Well, anything is possible. I didn't remember. There were a lot of people.
What are they saying about Butyrka? Give us the official version first and then the real one.
Please? Old prison. Brand, in a sense. Yes, a beautiful prison. Indicative in a sense. They take foreigners there on excursions.
Uh-huh.
Many historical figures were imprisoned in this prison.
What is this tattoo?
Oh, this is useful.
BC. What does it mean?
VS.
VS.
Beloved's initials.
Valentina Sergeyevna.
Almost. BS is the best employee. They're just VS in Butyrka.
So what is there again? Excursions?
Museum there.
Museums? Of torture? Huh?
Well, they're handcuffed there. So many historical figures pass through this prison.
Mm-hmm. Good or bad prison?
Well, according to the prisoners' words, normal. You could say it's even good.
It is a thieves prison or a police prison?
The Sibs one.
The thieves one. How much does the phone cost, so that they bring it to your cell? In 2021.
I haven't addressed such issues, but I heard that it is expensive.
How much does the phone cost? So they bring in to yourself.
Without the internet, well, somewhere from 20,000.
I understand. Well,
This is how much a phone without the internet costs.
what about the internet?
With the internet, from 50.
Whoa. Whoa.
This is without the charger.
Just a...
Charger separately, SIM card separately. Well, those were the prices.
I know that being an officer in Butyrka is very prestigious and elite.
Well, I think so. But if he's not quite right that they say, and he wants money.
How much is the official salary?
It was somewhere around 50,000.
How much does it cost to rent an apartment?
30,000.
He is dishonest officer. He took bribes. Am I telling the truth?
No.
How can you live with such money?
I worked part-time. I worked a lot. 2 weeks every day.
One shift for 2 full
Yes,
weeks?
2 weeks of mine. Well, I worked for 2 weeks straight.
What did you do after the shift?
Well, there are some things to do.
Well, I'm purely interested because Moscow is an income of 50,000. What is this?
Nothing.
This is a minus.
Well, yes, 50,000
Well,
is not
because
enough.
30,000 plus utility bills, how much is that already? Plus paying for a mobile phone and there's not enough for
Well,
food,
yes.
right? Plus travel. Do you own a car?
It's not enough, yes.
Well, in short, 50,000 is not enough.
No, that means he worked well somewhere.
What did you do on the side?
In security somewhere. I was engaged in commerce.
Sold phones to the prisoners.
No, that's not true.
Fine business.
No. No corruption. No, well, then it's fine if that's the case. So is 50,000 real money.
What other punishments are there? I know the punishment is to throw everyone out into the yard in the cold and the colony really goes nuts.
This is already in the colony itself and not in prison. Well, yeah, this can happen, but I don't know something so grandiose must happen for the entire colony to be driven out into the cold.
Well, there's a guy sitting in captivity who has no fingers.
Well,
said
yes, it means someone really did something bad, so
His
they
fingers
say...
had to be amputated.
We had something like this. We were 1,500 people. We stood in the courtyard of a prison in Chelyabinsk. The frost was somewhere around 30-35. And where I served my first term was the city of Kosly. There was a lake and a swamp all around. That is a damp climate. And we stood there because 3 people simply disappeared. They were not there. They couldn't be found. We stood there for, 10 hours.
What does it mean, 3 people at roll call?
Well,
3
there
from
were
the colony gone missing.
fewer people, yes. Yeah, they simply counted. The guards counted us. That is, we went there. Well, the security counted. There weren't 3 people there.
Found them.
Yeah, they were found. They wanted to escape. That is, they climbed into this communication hatches, make a hole there, climbed as far as they could, and then could not get out. Then they were afraid to come out because they were at the very bottom of hierarchy. Well, in the end, they got them out of there
What
after
happened
all.
to them then?
Yes, we stood on the street. We all stood there for around 10 hours. I don't know, the guards there were already dealing with them. In short, they were sorting it out.